Sup nerds, today we have Ben who got first place with his hunters and he's going to give us a deck profile.
So we're going to start off with our Tama here. We play 4 Digimon. It's easily the best egg for hunters. Just draw a card when you stack dice. Go into our rookies. Play 4 Gumdramon, 4 Psychmon, and 4 Dracmon. I've chosen to play in these particular rookies because they all can cross. So you can play them all for 2 costs. They all have really good effects. Tuck another card underneath your tamers to draw a card. Pick up a card from underneath your tamers. And shuffle back up to 3 tamers to draw that many cards. Basically, they're cheap rookies. They're all 2-cost rookies, essentially. Then we get into our champions. I play 4 King version. This one guarantees you can play your tamer because you play one from your hand, so you always know if you have it or not. This one searches the top 3 and plays one of your hunter tamers from those. So it's kind of risky, but sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't. Also, you can play both of these for 3 by crossing with 1 card. I also play 4 Arrestramon. This card gives you rush if it has at least 2 sources when digivolving. So you can just chip your opponent down and then eventually just Arrestramon rush. If you need to, digivolve into level 5 later and just finish the game. Also play 3 Clockmon. I was playing 2 originally, but this card is just way too important. All your Digimon have pretty low DP in this deck. I think Superior Mode is your biggest base with 10k. With Royal Knights, Shine, all these 15s, Megas, you just need some kind of jamming so you know your check goes through it. Get into our level 5s, we play 4 Arrestramon Superior Modes. This is just the answer to anything. Like, your opponent has 2 things on the board, you can remove one of them. As long as they have a tamer, you can get rid of a Digimon. There's some Digimon that can protect themselves like Alphamon, so you gotta pay attention to what you're doing. But it's still a really good answer to most of the threats that you're going to be facing. What separates me, I think, from your normal Hunter's deck is I'm playing 2 Astamon. I think this card is just way too good. If you have at least 4 sources, it lets you cheat up to your Quartzmon a lot faster because it reduces the cost by 6, and you don't have to worry about if you pass turn, you not be able to Quartzmon that turn. Also, if you don't have Quartzmon, you can just digivolve into this and play a level 4 or lower from your source, so you get more effects that trigger off, so you get more tempo. I don't like this one as much, but it still has its utility, its Omni Shout. The problem is a lot of things have protection from deletion effects, plus it's hard to get this DP really high unless you have a bunch of sources. And the payoff is you get a security attack, but if you don't have jamming, it's only swinging 7k, or if you increase the DP later with like the rookie, you'll get 2k more. So 9k is still not a very safe double swing in this format. And our boss of our deck is Quartzmon. This card has won me most of my matches. Just being able to slam this card, nothing unsuspends. They have to answer this card to get started. And by the time they answer this card, they lost so much tempo that you can just reestablish and attack the game, or just establish another Quartzmon. Then we get into our tamers. I play 4 Taiki. He's easily the best hunter. Tuck 1, draw a card. This deck you need to see resources, and Taiki is one of the key facilitators of that. I played 3 Yu. He's not nearly as good as Taiki. He only gives you a memory by tucking 1, but you need the color and you need the name. For a card like Superior Mode, his effect depends on the number of color tamers you have. So you need to get as many colors as possible. With just 2 colors, you're only tucking 5s, but the more colors you add, I have 4 different color tamers in this deck, so he can go up to level 7. I think this is another good tamer, Taguru. He's basically your memory setter. The only problem with Taguru is he doesn't actively tuck the cards underneath himself, but he's the memory setter, so that's how he makes up for it. Then I play only 2 Watchmaker. I've noticed a lot of times when I use my effects, I always I'll see Watchmaker and I'll shuffle them to the bottom, so I just lower the count so I don't see it as much. Plus, every time I hard slam also you have to hard slam it because you can never cheat it because he's not a hunter. But every time I slam this, I don't ever feel bad about it. He gets you one of your Digimon with save, which is every Digimon in the deck. And he gets you a card with hunter in the traits. And also I run 2 Overwhelming Power, which also has hunter in the trait. This card is better than I thought it was. All your champions and lower pretty much save themselves. So once one of these dies, you don't have to worry about trying to find another Arrestramon to rush in for game. You can just use the one underneath the tamer to come back out and swing for game. And you can do that with pretty much any card in your deck.
Can you do it with like quartz too?
Yeah, you can do it with Quartz. Quartz has saving attacks. You can Digivolve to anything in your deck with this card. It's a pretty solid. You have no really bad matchups. I don't think anything in the meta is too troubling. You just gotta adjust how you play depending on what you're playing. And that's pretty much it.